Hello everyone and welcome in today's video. I am Sohini Biswas, a third year law student, and currently I am doing an internship at the Lexis and Company. Today I am here and I'll be discussing on the topic of pro bono practices and opportunities in India. So let us introduce you first what is pro bono. India has an expansive history of legal aid backed by several decades of legislation, jurisprudential interpretation and numerous state-funded programs. However, its pro bono culture is still very much in progress. While certain pro bono services are organized and provided by a number of individuals, advocates, law firms, non-governmental organizations, law schools and bar associations across the country. Now, what is the assistance and pro bono opportunities? Private attorneys are not mandated to do so or to report pro bono work. Most law firms in India do not have a mandatory pro bono programs or pro bono requirements for their associates. However, some law firms do work on a pro bono basis with the Poverty Alleviation and other NGOs, and some allow their associates to count their pro bono hours as billable hours, while individual advocates may contribute their time to public services. Individual and activities, the work intends to be ad hoc and consequently difficult to organize or measure. The major NGOs that provide pro bono services in India are the Lawyers Collective, the Human Rights Law Network, the Alternative Law Forum and Majlis. The LC comprises of lawyers, law students and human rights activist members and consists of women rights initiative as well as focus on domestic violence, sexual harassment, HIV, access to medicines and vulnerable community issues. The HRLN is a non-profit NGO with 25 offices across India that advocates for civil, political, economical, social, cultural and environmental rights. HRLN works on a variety of issues including criminal justice, housing rights, human trafficking. It has organized a network of Indian advocates who take on pro bono cases in addition to their individual legal practices. ALF provides legal support to groups and people marginalized on the basis of class, caste, disability, gender or sexuality. Majlis is an all-female organization consisting of lawyer and social activists whose primary agenda is social change through quality legal representation for needy women across the country and bringing about a change in belief through advocacy and training. Other legal services organizations providing pro bono services in India include in New Delhi the Public Interest Legal Support and Research Center, which works on environmental, refugee, religious freedom and representing governance issues. In Kolkata, Swayam focuses on human rights and Manabadhikara Suraksha Mancha focuses on civil and political rights. In Bangalore, human rights organization SICHREM and the National Law School Legal Services Clinic in Mumbai, the Society for Service of Voluntary Agencies supporting non-profit in Uttaranchal, Rural Litigation and Entitlement Kendra, an NGO serving indigenous population and women and children with offices across Tamil Nadu, People's Watch Tamil Nadu, which focuses on human rights litigation, and in Orissa, the Committee for Legal Aid to Poor, an NGO which works for the promotion, enforcement and protection of human rights and dignity in association with the civil society, organization and governance system through inter alia provisions of legal aid. Further, numerous Indian NGOs engage in law-related advocacy work. For example, the Center of Civil Society advocates the right to education and rights of the street entrepreneurs. Women rights organization includes the Center for Social Research, Sakshi and Women Power Connect. All states have their respective state legal services authority, each of which have been constituted to give effect to the principle enshrined in the Constitution for provision of legal aid to all persons in need of it. For example, the Delhi High Court Legal Services Committee and the Bombay High Court Legal Services Committee are the statutory bodies constituted by the state legal services authorities in Delhi and Maharashtra respectively under the LSA Act, which provides free legal services to eligible persons within their respective state. Now, what is the historic development and current state of pro bono in India? While pro bono work is supported in Indian law, the provision of pro bono services faces a number of challenges. First, the rising demand for commercial lawyers in India may deter growth in the pro bono sector. In addition, India's tremendous diversity, its liberal laws and jurisprudence in relation to legal services for the underprivileged, its large population living in the poverty, its history and present status as a secular democratic republic, and its recent economic growth, along with the expectation that growth has raised, together make it unique and challenging environment in which it is difficult to develop the pro bono legal services. What are the laws and regulations impacting pro bono? India does not have a loser pay status, but courts are given discretion in awarding legal fees to parties. Contingency fees are not allowed, so disadvantaged litigants must either secure pro bono representation or obtain legal aid. Professional indemnity. Legal insurance is available for attorneys and does not appear on surface to cover pro bono activities. Socio-cultural barriers to pro bono or participation in the formal legal system. There are plenty of public concerns about the formal legal system, including corruption, judicial efficiency, and lack of public trust in the judiciary, which leads to informal dispute resolution. One of the biggest problems plaguing the Indian judicial system has been its pendency. It is estimated that as of April 2015, there were nearly 30 million cases pending in the Indian court. Further, there are more than 345 vacancies just at High Court levels for the judges pending confirmation and appointment, which compounds the problem. For instance, the Allahabad High Court, India's largest high court by number of judges, has sanctioned strength of 160 judges but presently has only about 80 sitting judges. Lawyers, activists, and even Supreme Court judges have focused on this issue, which is central to the understanding of not how legal services are provided and regulated in India, but also the real opportunities and obstacles facing lawyers interested in providing pro bono services in India. Now let us get to the conclusion. In the last 3 decades, legislative, institutional, and jurisprudential development in India have laid the foundation for the provision of free legal services to the poor. In practice, however, only a handful of organizations deliver these services effectively, often relying on India's unique PIL mechanism to provide legal aid. At present, domestic law restricts foreign qualified lawyers from representing pro bono clients. However, foreign qualified lawyers can contribute to pro bono legal services directly. For example, by providing research and writing skills in individual cases as well as indirectly through capacity building efforts alongside for Indian organizations. The demand for pro bono legal services in India far exceeds the supply, and a concerted, organized effort by the legal profession would go a long way towards ensuring the provision of quality pro bono legal services to the needy as enshrined in the Constitution. Thank you.